Okay. While we're waiting for everyone, I was saying on the previous recording that that we have a new suite that's going to be released, and it's in the new catalog that comes out in June, and they don't want it to get lost in the shuffle apparently. So I wanted to show you the flyer and what the stamp set looks like. Now, you may have seen it if you follow other demonstrators. Let me adjust my camera 1 second. Bear with me. There we go. So I just want to go over, it's kind of like the painted poppy stamp set. It's got one that has all designs and then a second bundle that has the words. And it's the Ornate Garden Suite. I'm not sure if you've seen this. Now, of course, you can purchase the entire suite for $136.75, or you can buy the bundles and separate things just like we always can. So this is a picture of an overview of the stamps and some of the cards that they've made and designed. Now, it's going to have two bundles. There's the Ornate Thanks bundle, which I'm going to show you in just a minute what that looks like, and then the Ornate Style bundle. One is all words and one are designs, and the bundles are $52 a piece. And then it's got a 3D embossing folder. It's got a combo pack of old olive and terracotta tile, if I'm not mistaken. And then it's got some specialty paper, which you can see here, the daisies, and some gilded gems. So let me flip to the next page. This is what it looks like. Okay, this here, let me get this up here. Here is the dies. And this is the photopolymer, this is the thank you stamp. Okay, this is the bundle if you choose to do that. And then here are the words for the Ornate Thanks stamp. Look at this. Isn't that really pretty? It's got some really nice fonts and some big, so grateful, thanks, and thank you. And look at this designer paper. Let me get in the picture here. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's got daisies and lots of spring flowers and really pretty colors. So that's the paper. And then let me come down a little bit. This is the, let's see. This is the Ornate stamp set. So here are the dies that go with this. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? Oh my, look at the swirls. And then here's the stamp. So you can color it with your blends or your watercolor pencils. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And then here is the 3D embossing folder, the combo pack of the ribbon, and then those, you get 90 of those gems, 3 sizes of 30 each for $7, if you can see that. Isn't that something? So anyways, just wanted to share this with you. This will be available on the 1st of April to you all. They wanted to do a new release, so it doesn't get lost in the shuffle of the new catalog, I'm not sure. But anyways, so I'm sure you'll start seeing some samples of this coming out the next week because we are able to order this today as demonstrators. So I just wanted to share that with you. And let's get started. I'm going to show you this. Let's start with, we're going to start with this stamp set first. This is the card, one of the cards we're going to be making. I'm going to do 2 this evening. I'm not doing any fun folds tonight, and I'm sorry, but trying to get back into the swing of things from being out of the country for 10 days. It's a little stressful, but that's okay. We've made it work. I am using the Thoughtful Bloom stamp set, which is one that you can get through Celebration with a $50 order. So I don't know if you've seen this one or not. And we're also using the Coordinating Punch. It's the Small Blossom Punch. Now this is you can get this free with a $100 order. Now keep in mind, Celebration is good through March 31st, so you only got about 27 days left. Nothing like putting the pressure on, right? Okay, so that's the stamp set. Let me get it down here where you can see it. So that's what we're using on this particular card. And I love this saying. It says, I'm always amazed but never surprised by your thoughtfulness. And I thought that was really sweet. So that's what we're going to be making. Now, I've done a lot of this. Oh, and the other thing, let me show you. If you haven't, I'm sure you've seen, I just received these Stitch So Sweetly dies. Oh, my goodness gracious. They are just absolutely wonderful. And we are using 2 of them. We're going to use the large framelit here, this one, and that's cutting out this piece here. And then we're going to use the second one in to round out our center. All right, so let's get started. Lovely lipstick. Sorry about that. Let me get my stuff out of here. I'm switching up colors. Okay, so we're going to do Real Red. Real Red. Lovely lipstick. So you're using your card base of 8.5 by 5.5. And again, it's scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to just give a good burnish to that. Now, one of the other cards that I did, let me show you. I stamped the background, hold on a minute. I stamped the background with one of the stamps inside using Versamark. I don't know if you can see it because, let me see if you can get that, if you can see that in the camera. Oh, let me go this way. I stamped this stamp set, the one that has the lines in it. But on this one, I'm not sure if I like it or not. This one I did plain. I kind of like it, the background plain. But you can stamp the background if you want to give it a little extra oomph, okay? So that's what I did. I'm not going to stamp the back on. I'm going to just leave the back, the cardstock plain for today. What we're going to do, designer series paper with the beautiful flowers, and it coordinates. So let me move this one out of the way. This is 2 inches by 5 and it's going to be 5.5. So let me get my cutter out. I don't have my actual, the new paper cutter. One of my team members was kind enough, or she is, to, she taught last week's class for me, and she's teaching my class next Wednesday on the 11th. So she has my miniature little cutter that we got, plus the new cutter and a bunch of other stuff. So she's coming over tomorrow to give me back all the leftovers from last week's class, and then I'm going to resupply her with the cards that I made for next week's class. And let me tell you, she afterwards she told me, Dawn, I don't know how you do it. She said, I had 12 people signed up, and of course, you know, doesn't normally teach, right? So she's like, I don't know how you do it, but it's there. Thank goodness I had some other customers that are experienced, so they helped out some of the newer folks. They helped out the newer folks, so it made it a little bit easier for her, but I think she was a little stressed, so I owe her big time for doing this for me. But I didn't want my in-person class people to miss out, because living in Central Florida, it's a retirement community, so the ladies that come in, they're only here for several months, and I'm using my liquid glue, my Tombow, to attach this to the front of the card. But they look forward to coming to my classes, so when they get here, you know, they don't want to miss my class, and I don't want them to miss my classes. So I didn't have to beg her, but I had to coax her to do it, and you know, obviously I'm going to pay her in one form or fashion anyways. So, okay, so we're going to take this 2 inch by 5.5, and we're going to lay that in the center of our card base. And again, this is lovely lipstick. And I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. You know, I think I told y'all last time, I don't normally use the Tombow glue, but I like it. And do you like my little holder? I gave everybody on my team this for Christmas. I got it on through Etsy, and it's a cut with a 3D printer. Isn't that kind of cool looking? I love it. So it sets my glue up. Okay, so we're going to put that on the front, and if it hangs over a little bit, we're just going to take our snips, which obviously I'm not going to do it now because I didn't bring them, but that's okay. So we're going to put that there. I know y'all probably think I'm such a goofball. All right, so now I've already pre-done and pre-cut because I didn't want to do this while y'all were waiting. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to take our stamp, and this is the swirly. We're going to use this piece right here. We're going to use this. And then we're going to stamp this flower, and then this little guy right here we're going to stamp on the inside of the flower. And we're going to use our lovely lipstick ink. So I am going to stamp this, though, in Old Olive so that it stands out. So I'm going to go ahead and, let me just go ahead and put this on here and get some ink on it. And then I'm going to place this towards the top of my card. All right, so we're going to stamp that right there. And just let it sit for a minute and get the ink transferred over. Close that up because I'll be wearing Old Olive ink. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our lovely lipstick, and we are going to use this stamp, this flower stamp, and I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stand up to do this, is I'm going to turn it so that I can get these vines to go right in the midst. If you do it just right, you should be able to get the flower right in the middle so it looks like all the vines are going into the right area. So give me 1 second. I think I've got it lined up. It's a little darker than I wanted, but that's okay. All right, and we've got simple chamois here, so let's clean that one off. Now we're going to take this little flower, the little one I think I showed you, if you can see that. I don't even know if you can see it or not. And we're going to tap that one down, and we're just going to apply him at all the little spots that have the end of like a vine, okay? So we're going to place those there. Let me get up here so you can see. And I apologize for the lighting. I tell you, I'm going to get, eventually when I'm home long enough, I'm going to get an electrician to hang some lights for me. All right. And then we'll put one right over here. I think that's good. Oh, missed got one here. We put one right here. Oops, look at that. I'm doing what you shouldn't be doing. Sticking my ink in my block in the ink pad. All right, now we're going to take this little baby. All right, we're going to close up the ink and we're going to pull out our Daffodil Delight. I know it's a comedy hour. I'm telling you, y'all. You need to show up just for the comedy part of this. Who never know. You get a bunch of stuff all for free. All right, so I'm taking this little guy and I'm just going to put him in the center of these little flowers just to give it like a yellow, like the insert. And I'm going to do that in the big one as well. So I'm just going to keep, just tap that little guy on there. This is really an easy card. So, you know, I've started going back to less is more. For a while in my classes, I was getting a little crazy making cards that were a little bit they were a little bit harder to do. And when you have a big class and you've got various levels of crafters, I don't want people to get stressed out. So I've started remembering just less is more. So it's still a beautiful card, but it's going to be a very simple card that we can make. All right, so we've got that part done. So now I'm going to attach, and we're going to put the sentiment. Now this was punched out using the Sweetly, So Sweetly Stitched, So Sweetly. And this is the second one in from the outside. So we're going to put some dimensionals on this and pop this up. So it's a really simple card. And one thing I wanted to let you know too, that if you have the, I think it's the Pretty Punch paper, it's the one that's got the tulips and all the flowers and stuff. I don't have that yet, but you can, instead of, when I'll show you on the next card that we're going to do, you can use that and punch out the paper flowers that coordinate with this punch as well. But that's what the next card I'll show you about that. Okay, so this is our sentiment. And I did that in Old Olive so that it would coordinate. And I think I went a little bit too low on that, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off. You're going to see how, oh, you know what we need to do? Hang on, before we do this, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to wrap our ribbon. We're going to do some ribbon, so I do need to get my scissors. We're going to wrap ribbon around the corners to make it look like it's wrapped, but I'm going to do it my way, whether it's right. I'm just going to cut some pieces off, and I am going to use some glue dots to adhere them to the back of the card. So let's take a piece of, and this is that lovely lipstick. It's the real skinny 1/8 of an inch ribbon that we're going to use. So I'm just going to take my glue dot and I'm just going to place my ribbon on top of the glue dot, and I'm going to put one on the one end and the other end, okay? And all I'm going to do, I'm going to make it like a faux, I guess. So I'm going to put this, and you know what? I just realized that I've got ink smudged on I've got Daffodil Delight smudged on my card, but that's all right. Okay, and I'm just going to flap it over and just stick it down in the back so it looks like it's wrapped around, you know, the corner. So I'm just going to do like that, and then we're going to fix that, so don't worry about that being loose. Now the next one we're going to do at the bottom, so we're going to do the same thing. We'll wrap it down here on the opposite corner. So I'm just going to wrap this one down here, and you can lay it, you know, if you want it to go up higher on the card, you can do that. So we've got that on there. Let's go ahead, now I can put the sentiment, and then we're going to add a bow. So let's go ahead and peel off our backing on this, and we're going to attach that down here. And I might end up covering up that little flower, but that's okay. All right, now we're just going to take and make a bow. You know, everybody has their own way of making bows, right? But for whatever reason, I don't know why it's become so difficult. You know, it should be easy, right? So I'm just going to pull my stuff in until I can get it tight, and then I'm going to cut it off and adjust my side. And then I'm just going to hold the center, pull till I get the loops the way I want them as far as size. And I think that might be a little bit too big, so we'll just keep adjusting. And I think that looks good. So let's just trim that off a little bit there. We haven't done a regular card in a long time, so this is kind of fun. But I was really looking for some fun folds, but I didn't really have time to do a lot of, you know, looking around to find something that I wanted to make in such a short time for me. I only had a couple of days to prepare for this, along with multitasking. I've got my husband, he's going to water my plants tomorrow out in the yard because he's asking, is there anything I can do for you? I'm thinking, not really, but water my plants. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this with a glue dot, And we're going to attach that to the top of the card, and we'll put that over here. I hope you all are enjoying this. Put that right on here. I may cut those tails down just a little bit because they look a little bit too long. Okay, and then we're just going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. And you can see I just placed the ribbon around the corners and just use my glue dots to hold it in place. And we're going to put 6 dimensionals on here because we want this little guy to stand up. And these dimensionals came out of one of my paper pumpkins. I don't know if it was last month or the month before. It might have been the one before. But I'm telling you, they're so much better than the ones that we've been getting. So if you're a paper pumpkin subscriber, you probably can appreciate this. If you're not, you need to, because if you sign up by the 10th of March, before the 10th of March, then you're going to get 2 stamp sets in that kit. So that's one of the specials they're doing. All right, so once we have this down, then all we're going to do is put it down and place it in the center of our card, just like that. And I'm going to turn this around for just 1 second. Yep, I think it looks straight. And there you go. Voila, that's our card. And then I'm going to put my inside piece again. Now, normally I would decorate the inside of the card. I'm going to wait, and I don't put a sentiment in it until I'm ready to send it. That way I have it blank so I can pretty much use it outside of that sentiment there for, you know, I can figure out what my message is going to be or write it myself. So it just makes it a little bit easier. So we're just going to put that in here, plop that down. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Well, I lied. I didn't trim it. So hang on a second. Let me trim this one down. And then when I'm ready to mail this out, then I can go ahead and get a sentiment in here or write my message. Or you could decorate it with some of your designer series paper that coordinates. So there you go. There's our first card. I hope you enjoy that. And that's using the Thoughtful Blooms stamp set that you can get free through Celebration. And the, no, we're not using that. And the lovely lipstick ribbon and paper. All right, I hope you enjoyed that one. All right, we have one other card. Now this one again is another simple card, and this one we are using the punch. And when I was talking about the paper that you can punch the flowers out, you can do that. I went ahead and just punched them out in coordinating different colors of cardstock. This is Purple Posy. Let me get down here. And this stamp set is the So Sentimental, and it's really, I love this one. I just got it. And it's got such large sentiments. I'm sure you've seen some cards with this one as well. And this is the one that I can't thank you enough. So this is the one that we're using. But it really has some nice sentiments. All right. So this is the card that we're using. And this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11. And then this piece, let me go ahead and get the papers out so we can get started. Get started making. This one's very simple again. You know, again, they're simple cards, but they look really pretty. And I thought this was kind of springy with the bright colors. So we're going to fold our cardstock. Again, this one I did not score, but that's all right. We're just going to fold it in half. Make sure our edges are lined up. Get that lined up. And we'll use our bone folder to crease it. Get a good crease. All right. And then this piece of paper is we're going to use the gingham side. And this is a 6 by 6, so we're going to cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so there's a piece that we're going to use. Let me move that out of the way. All right, so this one is ready. We're going to go ahead and use our Tombow. I hope y'all are enjoying this. And if there's anything that you want to see as far as types of cards or anything, just leave me a message and let me know. I'll be more than happy to see what I can do. I'll be coming live next Tuesday from Key West, Florida. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that we have good internet coverage. I'll be coming to you from our RV, so I'll have to kick my husband and maybe the dog out. Riley will be fine. She won't make any noise, but my husband, he probably needs to go outside for a while. So anyways. All right, so now with this card, I stamped the sentiment already, and I did use the Stitch Sweetly, and this is the one right here. The second one in is what I did. And it really forms the sentiment really well. Do you see that? So that's what I used. All right, and I used the basic gray ink on this one. Let me move some stuff out of the way here. We are going to add this with, we don't want those. We're going to add that with dimensionals. So I'm just going to put 4 dimensionals on here. So we'll go ahead and put that on here. And then we're going to build our flowers and dress those up a little bit with some rhinestones. So let me pull off my backings. I'll see, push your thumb down in the center and that helps release that backing to it. It comes off a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. Let me move this out of the way. I tell you, do y'all find when you use dimensionals that you find these little white pieces of paper everywhere in the house? I find them everywhere. It cracks me up. It's unbelievable. Okay, so let's move those out of the way. So we're going to place this probably center. Now we're going to take our flowers, and I'm going to put our mini dimensionals, so bear with me, on the backs of these. So let me do that real quick, and then we're going to curl them. Let me get in the camera here, sorry. We're going to curl them up with our bone folder. I'm sure you all have done that as well. I'll put one there and one here. We've got Rococo Rose, Purple Posy, Pool Party, Highland Heather. No, I think that's Gorgeous Grape and Daffodil Delight. All right, so I'm going to attach these, and I'm just going to take my bone folder and just kind of bend the, just curl up the, you know, the blossoms a little bit. Just get those up, and then we're going to pop these down on these mini dimensionals, and then add a rhinestone in the center, and then we'll decorate the inside. Let me go ahead and do this now. We'll decorate the inside of the card. But so you just curl, you know, you can curl them this way. These are so tiny, sometimes it's easier just to pull it, just pull them towards you. But thank you all for joining me, and I will be live again next Tuesday, live from Key West, Florida. And I guess we'll place him right about there. All right, now we're going to add some rhinestones, and I'm going to use the Pick Me Up tool. If y'all don't have this, I've had this thing for a while. I've not used the Pick Me Up part, but I'm telling you, I always use my scissors. This is really cool because all you do is just grab the thing. Look at that. You just grab it and then stick it down. Isn't that awesome? See, it's amazing. All the fun things that we have, and sometimes we don't even know about it, and we have them in our rooms, our craft rooms. So I'm just going to add a rhinestone to each of these. And if you all like this, like my videos, or my Facebook Lives, make sure you share it, and then I will draw names from this week and give a little prize next, and I'll announce that next Tuesday. All right, so I've added my rhinestones on here. You know what I forgot to do on the other card? I'm going to go back because I forgot to add something. All right, now I'm going to take, this is a, I think this is a 2-piece of the gingham paper. So I'm going to cut it down to 1 inch, and then we're going to cut this down to 5 1/4. We've got the front done, so I'm just going to add this, and I'll trim it down a little bit more because I didn't cut it down enough. And I'll just attach it with my scissors, and we'll take it off that way. All right, I'm just going to add it down here to the bottom of my paper. It just adds a little bit to your inside of the card, or you can always decorate your envelopes if you got another piece of paper that coordinates. And then we're going to add this to the inside of our card. And then again, I will save this and write my sentiment when I'm ready to send this card out. And there we go. There is that card for the second card for the evening, using that So Sentimental stamp set, which I love the words in that. And our gingham purple posy paper. And there you go. There's that card. Now, the one that we just did, I think I forgot I did. On this one, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to add our pearls. We have pearls. I wanted to dress up. This a little bit. So we're going to just put a pearl right there. This is the part that I forgot to do. Look at that, how easy it is that you pop these little guys down. So now this card is finished. I just put a pearl at the top and the bottom, and then I put 2 right there by the ribbon. And then our purple posy one, we did, and there you go. And thank you guys. I really appreciate your patience with my technical issues as always. If you're looking and don't have a demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. And if you would like to make any purchases, you can go to my online store at shallwestamp.com, and this is my monthly host code. And I will place that on the video as soon as we get done. I'll post that for you. If you have any questions or have suggestions on anything you would like to see me do, please leave me a message. I will be more than happy to take a look at that. And thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next Tuesday, coming to you live from Key West, Florida. Ladies and gents, have a nice evening. Stay warm if you're in a cold spot, and I will see you next week. Bye now.